for so much as one steamship dock should have been a tip-off. Even before the railroad came miraculously to town, Key West was decidedly overbuilt, and the infrastructure for expansion simply did not exist. There was no ready supply of fresh water, no highway in or out, and only a single railway line to service the projected flood of trade. Instead of encouraging growth, there is evidence that the railroad's arrival actually encouraged some Key West residents to leave the far-flung island. At last, significant numbers of immigrants who had come from Cuba and other Caribbean islands in search of a better life had ready access to a larger world. A Sunday round-trip ticket to Miami went for $2.50, and many who made it that far north simply made up their minds to stay on the mainland. As effects of the Great Depression swept as far southward as Key West, the trickle of those moving northward became a flood. By 1930, the U.S. Census revealed that Key West had actually lost more than 7,000 residents. Other troubles followed in the wake of Flagler's passing. His trusted manager, Joseph Parrott, who took over the direction of the company upon its founder's death, would himself die scarcely 5 months later of heart failure, amid growing complaints from pioneering growers up and down the Keys that they were being forced out of business by the importation of cheaper pineapples and tropical fruits being hauled by the FEC line from Cuba. And Mary Lily's life was hardly charmed thereafter. From 1913 on, she divided her time between Whitehall and New York, and in 1916 married an old friend, Robert Bingham, then an ambitious but struggling attorney in Louisville. Scarcely 8 months later, Mary Lily died, shortly after amending a will that left her new husband $5 million of the $100 million Flagler's estate had bequeathed her. While 50-year-old Mary Lily's death was reported as heart failure, the timing led to whispers of her acute alcoholism and even laudanum abuse, a not unheard-of practice among certain of the leisure class of the day. The fact that Bingham used his inheritance to pay off a significant number of debts, and its remainder to buy the Louisville Courier-Journal and the Louisville Times, fueled rumors that if Bingham hadn't actually been involved in Mary Lily's death, he did little to prevent it. Writer David Chandler passed off Mary Lily's death as an apparent heart attack in his Flagler biography of 1986, subtitled The Astonishing Life and Times of the Visionary Robber Baron Who Founded Florida. But by 1987 he had changed his mind. The Binghams of Louisville, a biography co-authored with his wife Mary Voles Chandler, argued that Bingham had clearly aided and abetted Mary Lily's death. By 1991, 3 more Bingham family retrospectives were published, with the last in the series, Susan Tift and Alex Jones's The Patriarch, going so far as to charge that Mary Lily had died of cardiovascular syphilis, a disease most likely contracted from Henry Flagler himself. Subsequent historians have dismissed such speculations as pure sensationalism, but it is a reminder that if Flagler truly had immortality in mind as he pressed ahead with the fight to complete the Key West extension, he should have understood the costs of such status. Even charges against the railroad sometimes grew to near outlandish levels. In 1927, the British Isles, along with the rest of northeastern Europe, suffered through a particularly severe winter and subsequent summer marked by record low temperatures, which, along with powerful storms, resulted in deaths, property damage, and crop failures. Pre-El Niño-era scientists, seeking some plausible explanation for the calamities, pointed fingers all the way to the Florida Keys, where it was suggested the embankments and the bridges of the Key West extension had caused a permanent divergence in the flow of the Gulf Stream, the steady flow of warm water that originates in the Caribbean and runs all the way to the coasts of France and England, greatly ameliorating what would otherwise be forbidding climates. Despite their extreme nature, the complaints grew so shrill that the U.S. government was forced to commission a study to investigate the matter. No evidence was found that the Gulf Stream had been displaced, however, and by the following winter things had returned to normal in the European weather pattern.